Hey guys, it's Maxie here and welcome to our TW video. We're on a run of a lot of events in a row in the month of October and then November. Get Hell in a Cell this week. We've got next week coming up No Mercy, and then the likes of the Cruiserweight Classic, the Tag Team Invitational, the 4th Annual Mae Young Classic, and the WWE World Grand Prix, of course, their version of the King of the Ring, to see who is the best of the best. So I'm looking forward to this. As I say, it's quite soon after the last event, the Night of Champions, but we've managed to have one Hell in a Cell match, which is good. Personal feud behind that, so looking forward to that. And overall, just a very good pay-per-view. Again, because this has been like a full stage where it's been a lot of blocked booking, a lot of, just getting the heat down, playing a lot of it back to back. It's going to allow me to really get this story this summer, getting into the autumn, really covered, one that I'm looking forward to. And as I say, I hope you guys enjoy it as well. So as always, thanks for watching, it's deeply appreciated. As always, any comments on the series, wrestling in general, any of your predictions for any of the tournaments we've got coming up, let me know as well. Always like, share, subs, all that jazz, all deeply appreciated. And check out the good friends at the Fantasy Booker subreddit and the Grey Dog software forums. So today, Hell in a Cell Raw has its pay-per-view for October. It's good to know that we're at a stage now where we're so popular in the US, not just us in general, but wrestling is in a boom period. So we're pretty much doing every pay-per-view in stadiums. And that's why we're in the MetLife Stadium tonight in New York, New Jersey, in front of 65,510 fans. So, in a decent pre-show match, Kenny Omega defeats Shane Strickland in 11:40 with a cross-legged Fisherman Buster, B77. Pre-show match, just getting Kenny on the card, getting him a good victory. Didn't really have a feud for him to work on in this month. I felt like the Bushi thing is done, but other feuds take precedence over what his booking is at the moment. But good one for him, keeps his momentum going. Shane Strickland, I don't really have anything for. Next up, we had the NXT Championship in the line, a decent pre-show match. Saw Apollo Crews defeat Drew Gulak in 10:22 by pinfall with an UA combination. Apollo Crews makes defence number 6 of his NXT World Heavyweight Championship. B77. Apollo Crews is getting better at his gimmick, which is good to see. A much better performance from Drew Gulak. Gulak, there might be plans for in the future, but we'll see what happens in the future with him. But it's again keeping prestige on that championship, gaining it week by week. And I certainly feel Marcel Bartel and then Apollo Crews have done a good job with that. No skill improvements, no negatives, standard NXT Championship match. So we're on to our main show then, so we had our 2 pre-show matches and we're hyping up our 2 main events. We've got the World WWE Championship on the line, which is The Miz, the champion, defending against Okada. Of course, he won that number 1 contender match at the last pay-per-view. And due to just continually getting in each other's way, try to win the championship, Tommaso Ciampa, Daniel Bryan, they are going at it inside the Hell in a Cell. So A90, very good there. Gets the show off to a strong start, gets the crowd hotter, and it's basically integrated into one feud because with the triple threat. But hopefully they can deliver and really kick on a really good day there. So hopefully we have a good show. So we start off, we had the WWE World Tag Team titles on the line, and the Coffee Brothers were defending it in a decent wrestling match that didn't have a lot of heat. And it saw the Coffee Brothers, Mark and Joe, defeat the Briscoes, Red Dragon and American Wolves in 11:35. And Joe Coffey defeated Kyle O'Reilly with the Discus Lariat. It's their 7th title defence. A solid B80 there. And you can see we seem to be getting a lot of injuries at this moment in time, which is a wee bit frustrating, admittedly. But none of them seem to be long term, and if anything, these open up other opportunities. So a simple zygomatic fracture, so see how bad that is. And Ibdy's performance is pretty decent. Davies was the worst with 64. A bit of news as well. We bid to keep Kyle O'Reilly, but he will be leaving to go to New Japan, which is cool, gives him an opportunity. We are quite stacked at times, so that's why it wasn't an aggressive play for him. But so he'll be leaving, so we do as a tag team to an extent, but we'll probably pair Bobby Fish up with someone else. So we don't really technically as a tag team, we just maybe use a wrestler that isn't being used elsewhere, but decent tag division, good win for the Coffee Brothers. Thanks for that, Matt Blue. Next up, John Cena is cutting a promo. It is a B plus 88, just obviously again confirming, great that he's going to get a new contract. Bit pissed off, that it took 7 men of the Magnificent 7 to beat him down. But he is going to take on Switchblade, and he's going to be one of the members of the Magnificent 7 that will not get the best of John Cena at this occasion. Cena does well unscripted, crowd's hotter, and John Cena came across looking good. Match itself does the job, it's okay. John Cena was off his game, but he picks up the win in 10 minutes and 30 over Switchblade with an attitude adjustment. B78. I just felt like, you can't have John Cena losing every match, as much as we'd want to do that and put his overness on other people. I do want him to go out the right way, so he's not going to just be losing all the time. It'll be a big match that he ends his career with, and then we'll maybe put him into like an authority figure role. But overall, Cena wins. 69 performance to Switchblade's 74. It was a storytelling match, just really telling the age difference. One's declining, one's in the ascendancy, but experience prevailed. So Cena, a 10-minute match, stamina, declining physical ability. Big match John's been hampered. So after this, Paul Heyman, of course, the advocate for the Magnificent 7, has decided, that he's going to put a bounty in John Cena. He just wants rid of John Cena for good, because he's taking up opportunities that his Magnificent 7 should be getting. So B plus 88 for Paul Heyman. Good to be using him again. Hoping to really start using a lot more managers. Speaking of which, the ladies' man of Raw, Lucky Cannon, is with his lady, of course, Laurel Van Ness. Just really talking about how they're going to take over Raw and they're going to take over the Women's Revolution, respectively. Going to give Lucky a little push, why not? Somebody that's not been mainstream wrestling for absolute donkeys, and as I say, if it gives more exposure to Laurel Van Ness, where she can appear on Raw, NXT, and the Women's Revolution, it can only be good for getting her over very quickly. And I bet Zack Ryder wishes that he did not sign with Ring of Honor, because that would have been his spot right there. The match anyway was decent, didn't have a lot of heat, and it was just a really a match up to give Cannon some exposure. He defeats Jason Jordan in 7:42 with a lucky break, following interference from Laurel Van Ness. So not a great matchup, just the C+, but way to look at it. 76 performance for Jason Jordan, 66 for Lucky Cannon. And what I've noticed, previously Jason Jordan had declining physical ability. None here, it's just booking decisions. So is that an interesting tale where, because he was coming back from an injury, that was hurting him a little bit, but now he's back. So maybe we'll get a push for Jason in the future. Next up, we've got an alliance forming between Andrade Cien Almas and Drew McIntyre. It's basically they're going to be in a 6-man tag. Their tag partner will be Bray Wyatt. He's not going to be backstage just chilling, so these two are just making sure they're going to coexist for that match later tonight, and that is a B plus 88, which is good to see. Match itself went okay, again, no real storyline, just putting people on the card. Just shows how stacked a main event team we've got on both Raw and SmackDown as a stacked scene as well. Maybe it's down to me not balancing it correctly, pushing too many people, when in reality some of these guys should be further down the card. Anyway, they had great wrestling, good heat. There's a team of Andrade Cien Almas, Bray Wyatt, and Drew McIntyre, who defeat Bo Dallas, Jey Uso, and Kota Ibushi in 13:58 when Cien Almas defeats Dallas with the Brilliante Driver. You too, very happy with that. Everyone there is on the cusp of the main event. You just feel when a few of the declining physical ability guys hit and they start going down the card, these guys will all be in the main event. Every performer, 88 or more, which is good to see. Skill improvements as well. And just net capped for being a short match, considering they are main eventers. Next up, we've got a promo with the IC champ, Chad Gable, and he says he's finally gotten his opportunity. He's finally the IC champion. and now this Magnificent Seven think they can just come in here and take over. Not on his watch. He's going to scratch and claw, retain his championship, no matter the odds. So A-star 100 for Chad Gable. Hoping this match should draw really, really well. I'm really hoping it can pleasantly surprise me with a spectacular rating. It done well. I was kind of hoping a bit more, I'm not going to lie. I had real big optimism for it. But about that had good wrestling, a decent reaction from the crowd. It's a quick title change. I just felt like we've not had a lot of quick title changes. It's always been a lot happen at big events. So, a little swerve, Marcel Barthel defeats Chad Gable in 26:44 after Paul Heyman interfered, meaning he wins the Intercontinental Championship. A90, very good there. An 87 and an 85 performance is good. Negatives, none. My feeling here was the Magnificent Seven needs a championship in their ranks, but I don't want to give them the main one. So IC title, and it shows that they're all trying to get to that main event. And it kind of adds a bit more to the storyline. You can then have Gable chasing it again and maybe recruiting people to help him get the better. But Barthel, since I don't think he was in the initial database, probably was, but ever since we've actually brought him up from development, from Lucha Underground, and then he went to NXT, later on as NXT champion. And that's just really shown that if I give someone the title in NXT, it's going to be a launch pad to them on the main roster. Unless you're the Authors of Pain, who got the tag titles, and then Rizard decides to go and do another mixed martial arts fight. So I don't know what to do with them, because it's every so often, once a year, we're losing a tag team that I really wanted to push. And after the matchup, we have the other members of the Magnificent Seven, of course, missing Pete Dunne and Noam Dar, who are in action later on tonight. But Barthel, Walter, Will Ospreay, Switchblade, and Marty Scurll beat down Chad Gable. The initial plan was to have Walter interfere in the previous match, but he unfortunately has a dislocated knee and is out for a week. Thankfully, it wasn't long term, or would have had to replace someone already. But gets these guys coming across pretty decent. Ospreay and Heyman have excellent chemistry, which is good to see. And as I say, it's going to be a slow burn process, especially Walter, but the rest of these guys are just waiting for their time. Next up, Seth Rollins makes an entrance. He's going to be taking on the young team, called Next Generation. I can't remember what they're called in this. Noam Dar and Pete Dunne anyway, a 2-on-1 handicap match. So it's going to be interesting to see how Seth will deal with that. B plus 85, as he's had a little bit of problems with the Magnificent Seven as well. However, Seth Rollins, starts the match. He's getting beat down by My Generation. That was their name. Before, Dean Ambrose comes in, decides, you know what, I ain't taking this shit on my brother. And then he decides to, start attacking Darren, Pete Dunne, and then the referee allows the match to continue as a tag team match. So B minus 75, and we are turning Dean Ambrose face, which means our next segment is the match itself. About with good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, we had Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose take on My Generation. We won in 2024 when Ambrose defeats Noam Dar with Dirty Deeds. So overall, 82 could have been a lot better. Dunne was off his game. Let's see what's been probably the storyline needs a bit more heat to it. Yet, a bit disappointed with that, but that's on me. But it just shows Magnificent Seven are going to have several feuds up and down the card, and it's going to be wrestlers bonding together, aligning together to take on these kind of guys. So obviously 2/3 of the Shield, Roman's in New Japan, so no Shield against them unfortunately. But these two will take on these two going forward. You've got Chad Gable wanting a bit of Marcel Barthel. It's up and down the card, but we're really trying to push this stable and really put a dent into just the usual workers that are at the top and just try and freshen things up. Because I mean, Rollins and Ambrose are 36, so for me, I'd say 36 is when I want to start bringing them down the card, because when we're getting to 40, they're done in this game. Not in real life. I still think AJ Styles will be producing the best work of his life at 40. But anyway, then we have Tommaso Ciampa cut a promo for his upcoming match with Daniel Bryan, and he just says he's sick and tired of people like Daniel Bryan getting in the way. He should be champion. It should be Monday Night Ciampa. But no, Daniel Bryan's hatred for The Miz has cost him. Match itself was a great wrestling match with good heat. And I went with Daniel Bryan over Tommaso here in the Hell in a Cell match in 37-20, A91. Bryan had been losing a lot and I felt like he needed a win. I know he's got declining physical ability and he's someone we want to phase down the card. I just felt like it's a victory he still needed. So, negatives, stamina for Ciampa and Daniel Bryan, poor momentum and declining physical ability. What I'm also just going to quickly mention, it's also crazy that if you remember my TNA save in TEW13, we had Tommaso Ciampa there, and I portrayed him as this like big, massive monster because I wasn't aware of who he actually was at the time. So I thought I was under this impression, or it must be nuts, he must be massive. But now because every wrestler's getting a lot more exposure, with the way social media is evolving, it's a lot easier to see every wrestler. And of course, the exposure he particularly has with WWE now. It's great to use him in a completely different capacity. So obviously I get a lot more knowledge of him now. I'm pushing him further towards that kind of character. After the match, that sick bastard decides to put Daniel Bryan through a table. A94 keeps the feud going, and it makes you want to hate Tommaso Ciampa. Perfect. This then leads us up to our main event match for the WWE Championship. The Miz cuts a promo saying he's champion. He's managed to survive two animals in Daniel Bryan and Tommaso Ciampa, and he just wants to show that Kazuchika Okada is nothing but overrated from across the pond. So A89. Let's see how this match goes down after we get an over the top entrance from Okada. Of course, I forgot how spectacular I wanted to make this. B plus 88. Yes, the match did deliver, thank God. I was a bit worried. It was a great wrestling match with good heat, and we've went with Okada winning the championship, beating The Miz in 23-53 by a German suplex. 92 performance for Okada, 93 for The Miz, A-star 95. You're probably wondering, why is the title going on Okada so quickly? Again, with what I said earlier with the IC title, I feel I've got too many predictable title changes. Like, you could look at my roster and think title changes are going to happen. Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and I don't like that booking. I want to try and just change it up a wee bit, freshen up, and there's a lot of people deserve championship reigns. I want to be different for WWE. I don't want, like, a champion get away for 18 months. I don't want us to eventually get to the stage where it's a championship changing month by month, aka the Attitude Era. So we mix it up with some short reigns, with some long reigns, just keeping programs fresh. So we obviously think going forward, it's got to be Okada versus The Miz going forward. Don't forget Samoa Joe, who comes out, puts Okada in the Kikuna clutch, stands above him with the WWE Championship. So A89, Samoa Joe came across well, which is good to see. So what's my plans for the next Raw pay-per-view, which of course will be Survivor Series when they coexist with SmackDown? Well, over the course of the next couple of feuds, we are going to build up to, well, the name of Survivor Series, Survival. So we're probably going to look to have a multi-man match in one of the main events in November. Overall, A94, spectacular show. Probably could have boosted that to about 96 if we'd put in celebrities and the like, but overall, delighted with it. I feel like we've progressed a lot of mid-card and upper mid-card. The Magnificent Seven have progressed well here. Introduction to Lucky Cannon and what he's doing, obviously Laurel Van Ness, and just overall delighted. We've got a lot of things going forward. So I think we'll praise Miz, we'll praise Tommaso, and we'll praise Daniel for their performances. So that's pointed out as good examples. That'll do it. Everybody's pleased. So let us know in the comments section what you thought of that. As I say, do you feel it's good to mix up title reigns, or do you feel like, are you someone that prefers the shorter title reign or the longer one? Let us know your thoughts on that. So like a quick look through here. I don't think there's nothing massive. David Richards' injury. Let's see this. There's usually a lot that hampers us here. I'll just give a 3-year contract. It's a referee, so that doesn't really change. Tommaso Ciampa, it's just because of a long match. That's cool. We'll put him in some sort of talk segment on Raw. 47-6-7 on the network. Ospreay doesn't like Bobby Fish. Mark Coffey is getting so over 70 that he's got an opinion in the dressing room. That's quite cool. So he thinks Laurel Van Ness is a good worker. A lot of people are praising her. Dean Ambrose likes Switchblade. Bo Dallas likes Laurel Van Ness. And Shane Strickland likes Switchblade as well. So Laurel Van Ness Chelsea Green's obviously been imported from, I think it's one of the Who's more recent mods. And speaking of which, you can see about the Razar thing. I just quickly want to go to development. So Fabian Aichner is in from the Who's recent mod, which would have been at this time of writing the August mod. Sorry, that would have been the June mod actually, because it's an older mod I've used. Diona Peruzzo, apologies for butchering that. Charlie Morgan, you can tell someone's been watching the NXT UK show. Charlie Caruso in as well. And these are all in development, so you won't see them in the main roster for a while. Jenny Couture is in. Jordan Devlin is in. Kira Hogan from TNA is in. Evita Devi is in. Kip Sapien is in. These are all guys that weren't in this initial database. Mike Rome. And another one, of course, the daughter of Robbie Brookside, Xia Brookside. So, because obviously the save started back in 2016, May 2016 to be exact, the database is probably from April, because I think I started this right after WrestleMania 32. So, there's a lot of people that won't be in these databases, but every so often we'll bring people in. Killer Kelly as well. But you can see there, Tanyara Conte was not even signed with WWE back when this save started, so it's not as if they're going to come through as absolutely fantastic. They'll have pretty poor stats, and of course they'll still have to go through my development system before eventually making it to the main roster. So you may not see these people for a good little bit. And a lot of good coaches in there: Doug Williams, Jushin van der Liga, Sean Morey, Sean Hernandez, Monty Sops. I've got get Billy Gunn back in there, Lance Storm, get Lisa Marie Varon, of course. So a lot of big names in there. Charlie Haas, Alito. Not, it just does the job. Down as a trainer, if I want to give him a push, which is unlikely at his age, but yeah, we're in a pretty damn good spot. And we should be seeing, as I say, a couple of videos for this particular month. So No Mercy will be next week. That is our October pay-per-view. I'd need to check which titles are being defended. If I'm right in saying it should be, let's actually just check what titles we've got. So the Mae Young Classic will be next month. If we just look through here as well. Cruiserweight Classic. So we've got the Cruiserweight Classic coming up. Neville's won it twice. Chad Gable's won it once. Who could win it this year and potentially go on to face Xavier Woods? Or could Xavier Woods win it himself? That'll be an interesting one. The Tag Team Invitational as well. Well, you just need to look at that. So the Detroit Machine Guns, of course, the Motor City Machine Guns, and guns even in real life. Shelley and Saban won it in the first year. After that, it was Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano want to win the tag team titles, imploded. And then last year, the Golden Lovers reunited before imploding as well. So which tag team is going to win the Tag Team Invitational, and will they implode and turn on each other? More than likely, probably, at one point. But yeah, so we're in a good position. That's all coming up this month, so it'll be No Mercy for SmackDown next week. Then we'll move on to the Cruiserweight Classic and the Tag Team Invitational. So you want to put your predictions in for them, and then eventually we'll have the World Grand Prix, which is saw Cena, Bryan, Reigns and Devitt win it. So 3 people in there that could win it for the second time. And of course, we'll have our 4th annual Mae Young Classic after 2 wins for Sasha, 1 for Charlotte. Could it be Ronda? Could it be Becky? Could it be Charlotte again? Could it be Sasha again? Could it be Bayley, since we're forgetting about her? Or someone trying to break through. I've got a few ideas of who it could be, but right now, for any of those tournaments, nothing is concrete. So as always, cheers for watching. Much appreciated, and hopefully I'll see you next Sunday for No Mercy. Cheers. See you soon. Bye-bye.